for Josh Jacobs.
And right away, they're going to stack him up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
On second down, Jacobs gets this to the 24 for a gain of 4.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Hey, we got 4 down. One. 45.
On third down, Mariota. And able to complete it to Moreau. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. 30 yards there, and of course the first down as well.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up first and 10.
Rush in.
Here's Jacobs on first and 10. Tyquan Lewis makes the stop. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Ready? Double time. 4 down. Check.
On the ground, this is Jalen Richard. It was Justin Houston who got him down.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
A good chance this is 4-down territory if they're unable to convert. But right now looking at a 3rd and 3.
Where are they, team? Check. Three.
Off the play fake, Mariota. He wants it all for the end zone. And it's incomplete, almost intercepted. He had a great shot at picking that off in the end zone. It brings up 4th down. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. That's going to set them back 5 yards. So here we go. The offense is going to stay out there. They're going for it on 4th and 8.
Watch the screen. Check 45 to Mike. Check 45 to Mike. One. Let's get in there, Hal. Hey, check Mike 45. Check Mike 45. It's our field.
Now Mariota on 4th down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. So not only do they convert on 4th, but they pick up 22 yards in the process.
First and 10 at the 22-yard line.
Bring it! Bring it! Bring it! Jim! One!
They'll run on first down. Richard, and down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have two remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Here we go, G. Hey, it's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
They go back to the ground, this time Jacobs. And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On second down now, Richard. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
So now then the penalty's got him set up with a 1st and goal. They'll run it with Jacobs, and he'll get blown up behind the line of scrimmage, back at the 6. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
2nd and goal from the 6 this time. Running the toss here to Jacobs. And they go the wrong way on this one. Losing yardage back at the 12. Give them a loss of 6 yards, and it brings up 3rd down.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
They need to reverse the trend. The last 2 plays have gone backwards. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Check Mike 45. Check Mike 45. Blue down. 45 the mic. 45 the mic.
From the gun, Mariota. And he'll be brought down by the Colts. Grover Stewart drops him for a 4-yard loss there, and that brings up 4th down. The kick by Carlson is good. And the Raiders jump out to a 3-0 advantage. In the end, the opening drive, Charles, does yield points. Maybe not the touchdown that they wanted, though.
Yeah, but bottom line, they wanted to get something out of that drive, and they did that. 3 points, they won't turn that down at all.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line.
Let's go now. 15, Ronnie. 15, Ronnie.
Naeem Hines, his first carry. Give the tackle to Hassan Reddick.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Check, 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 check.
On third down, Hines. Tough sledding. They lose a yard there on third. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys to continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And a methodical drive last time, but they couldn't get that knockout blow. They had to settle for 3.
But you got to like what they've been doing along the way, right? It's almost like the body blows, the setup punch. As you said, they didn't get the knockout blow here, but that doesn't mean it can't come later in the game on another possession. And the defense on the other side,
maybe a little gas,
yeah,
right?
a little tired. And if nothing else, they just feel relieved getting upfield, only giving up 3. They don't exactly feel like they've handled the offense.
2nd and 5 now. Mariota sliding out of the pocket. On the run, he'll let it go deep, right sideline. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
Check, 45 to Mike. I got you, son.
Working out of the gun, Mariota. Looks for Nelson, and it's intercepted. Quincy Wilson with the INT. And they have the football and will set up shop at the 33-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. Down to the 30 after a gain of 3.
When we see those runs to the perimeter, when we see those runs to the edge, we think about big breakers, don't we? In this case, it was a modest gain, but it does open up possibilities here on 2nd down.
On 2nd down, it's Hines. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and no more. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down.
Here we go. 30 base.
57.
They'll set up to throw. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So it looks like the offense isn't going anywhere. They're going to go for it on 4th and 7. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. And that is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Raider D, they get the football back. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. They'll roll him out right. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. It's caught at the 10. A big play that time for the Raiders. 61 yards. Jacobs. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Second and goal at the 11-yard line.
On second and goal, Mariota dancing to his left. Stepping up, he'll try and run. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's third down.
At the 9-yard line. A gain of 1 yard on the play. It's now third and goal.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here some. That's going to be caught by Williams for a Raiders touchdown. Tyrell Williams, his second touchdown on the season. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the... ...23-yard line.
Let's go!
The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you've got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board, so let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Well, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line. Right now in the second quarter on the defensive side, they got to feel pretty good about what they're doing.
They should embrace the feeling they have now, embrace the way that they're playing, and continue that through the half. I know defensive coordinators, sometimes they overthink it, start wondering how they're going to be attacked. Just keep doing what you're doing because it's working.
Now a shot taken on third down, but it's going to wind up incomplete. Now here's Rigoberto Santos. And look at this, it's a fake. Oh, and this turns into a mess as it's intercepted. Picked by Trayvon Mullen. And they will set up shop at their own 46-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. A new life now following the late turnover. Maybe a chance for points here before the break.
Yeah, pretty nice situation they find themselves in because they're really maybe one completion away from giving their kicker a shot. And that gives them a chance to get some points up on the board. I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Richard trying the right side. And he'll get it down here to the 43. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds to go in the first half. On play action, Mariota. The Colts are going to get him. Down he goes.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a 2nd down and 17. 8 yards here, so that gets them back within striking distance. And now it's 3rd down. Now the Colts going to burn the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. The Raiders on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9.
45.
Play action now. Mariota. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that'll be incomplete with just 6 seconds left on the clock.
Incomplete. He was defended by Patrick Peterson.
So now they're going to send out the field goal unit to, as they say, fire away from long distance. This will be spotted just shy of midfield. A 59-yard attempt. Online, but off the crossbar, no good. A long-range effort denied 3 points at the very end. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
They've got good starting field position as they come up here 1st and 10. They run with Hines. And this will go as a short gain on what will be the final act of this first half. So we have reached halftime with our score 10-0. As we'll send you back over to Orlando with our EA Sports Halftime Report, here's Jonathan Coachman. The Raiders with the lead already, and they will get the football here as the second half is now underway. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And he will bring it back to the 4-yard line. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can. That's not a great example of it.
They didn't envision that. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And the turnover last time, that's sort of been symptomatic of their struggles here in this one.
It would. I like it, though, because you're exactly right.
Like that, don't you?
All game long, they've struggled moving the ball, turning it over on the last possession. Is that word again, symptomatic?
Yeah.
I like that.
Your analysis, symptomatic of the success of this broadcast.
What I like is that you gave me the word, and I just kept using it.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
Kill. 64, weak. You got tight. You got tight right there. Switch.
Look at me. Go.
Here's Hines. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. Just a 1-yard gain on the play, and that'll mean a call to the punt team as it's 4th down.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. Fielded just inside the 30. Yeah, he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Excellent work on the run back there, 33 yards. And the Raiders will have a short field to work with as they take over. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Hey, come on out here. Come get some. Come get some. Come on here. Come get some. He don't want it.
Jacobs now. And an alley to run. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Raider touchdown. Josh Jacobs, his second touchdown on the season. And the Raiders able to extend that advantage. Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes our score 17-0. Following the touchdown, ready to kick it away is Carlson. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try to figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Now he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A big chunk on the ground there, 27 yards. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll run with Mack. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Staying on the ground with Mack. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. He'll try and run for this with Mack. He's got the first down inside the 10. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Marlon Mack, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Colts are able to draw a bit closer. They go for just 1 here as it's up and good. And that'll cut the lead to 17-7. So the lead back down to 10 as things get a little more interesting, and the kick is away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments. Well, we saw them there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
45. Crunch time, defense. Wide motion, wide motion.
Mariota to throw it. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. Oh, incomplete. Nearly the pick they needed. They would have loved one there, but at least it does get them to 4th down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Taken in at the 22. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And the Colts will go on offense here. 1st and 10.
At their own 35-yard line.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2 minutes. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. They'll run it. It's Mack. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard.
Some runs are blocked so well, you almost forget that someone has to carry the ball to gain the yardage. The leverage by the offensive line to create space up front, really well done.
He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And finally down at the 9-yard line. First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Now it's Hines. And he takes this one in for a Colts touchdown. Nyheim Hines, his first touchdown here of the new campaign, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Extra point put through by Succop, and the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. So just a 3-point game now as they send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Raider offense set to get this drive started. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of it.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 26. A big play that time for the Raiders. 53 yards. Back now in the East Bay. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the fourth quarter. On first down, Richard. And down inside the 15 he goes. Give him 12 yards that time at an Oakland first down. Now, I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sack. Justin Houston making his presence felt there in the backfield.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
I don't think anyone in the building fooled right there, as that one is going to blow up in their faces. It goes as a loss of 6. And now third down.
66. Bullet high. 45 to Mike. 45 to Mike. One. Alpha. Watch the clock. Motion. Clock.
Third and long here for Mariota. He's going to rifle one deep left side. He dropped it. Couldn't hang on in the end zone. So no 6 points, incomplete.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's fourth down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down.
Let's go.
At their own 18-yard line.
Ready up.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And now last drive so successful with the ground game, ending in a touchdown. Do you stick with that formula?
That would be the number one thing you would think of, but so many guys now would look at it and say, we've got them set up so well for play action, now's the time to take a shot.
Yeah.
But, you know, there was a big-time coach in the state of Ohio who once said, if you throw the ball, if you put it in the air, 3 things can happen, and 2 of them are bad. He would have kept it on the ground.
34 yards there and a first down. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. Down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Marlon Mack, his 2nd touchdown of the game, his 3rd on the year. As his guys are an extra point away now from taking the lead here in the 4th. A very important extra point there, up and good. And they have taken the lead here in this 4th quarter. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15. Now it looks like we've got a Raider here, slow to get up. We'll take a break and get a report from Oakland after this. The Oakland offense about ready to start this next drive. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Hey, we got 3 down. Shit. One. Shit. Check 3.
They go play action. Mariota. Wide open receiver complete. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know that's easier said than done when the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
And it's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. Mariota now, 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Running is Jacobs. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Tighten up. Pull it together.
They'll stay on the ground with Jacobs. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a first down.
Now that's the way to do it. Hand it to someone with vision and good footwork, and add in a little bit of power, and you find a way to pick up first downs.
We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10. Pretty good results here on the first down run as he takes us forward for about 6. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6.
Brings up 2nd and 4 at the 45-yard line.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
80 weapon.
They'll try to throw now. Mariota. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. No gain on the play, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
He's out of bounds behind the line of scrimmage.
This a big play for both sides. What will we see here? 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, it's Mariota. Less than 2 minutes to play. Down to the wire we go in a 1-point game. So it's Raider football as we get you reset. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Mariota to throw for it on 4th. And that is incomplete. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And the Colts are going to take over with a football. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. And this game not quite over yet. And we'll likely see them take all 3 timeouts defensively, so they can't just kneel this one out. They're going to have to try to run a few plays.
You're exactly right. They've got to get a first down and make them use up all their timeouts in order to feel like they have this one in hand.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short. So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. You'll likely put an end to this thing. There he goes, right side. Touchdown, Indianapolis. Nyheim Hines, his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Colts, they add on to their advantage. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told, as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They're down here in a 1-score game. But the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time...
And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Give the sack to Kamoko Toure. Following the sack, they'll try to change their fortune here on 2nd and 13. Here's Mariota. Man open left side, it's Williams. The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this 4th quarter. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me, and I'm going to keep firing.
Here I come again. Here I come again. Here I come again. Hey, check Mike 45.
Mariota. He's got a man open. It's Hunter Renfrow. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
45. Mike, 45. Here we go. 45's the Mike.
Now Mariota. Throw right side into the hands of Foster Moreau. Now the Raiders going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 27 seconds showing on the clock. Mariota now from the 50. He's going to let it fly. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked by Kendall Fuller.
Oh, timing is everything on a route like this. He tried to drive that football into a tight spot. And if you're a little early or a little late, chances are there's going to be someone there. And sure enough, this one's going the other way.
They begin the drive with Hines. He's going to have the first down past the 20. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. This is Hines. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now a final chance to stop it here as a timeout comes in with 10 seconds left in the game. On 2nd down now. It's Hines. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. So this one winds up an Indianapolis victory, and they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
And I know a lot of people watching this one were thinking to themselves, I bet halftime was really interesting. Probably took the paint off the walls with some of the words that were said. But I get the sense it was much more of the adjustments they made. They came in with a game plan that we saw that didn't work in the first half.